What's up guys, Techmaster back with another video. So today we're going to be comparing the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 today. So, um, there's quite a bit of price range between them. So the iPhone 11 is $499 for 64 gigabytes and $549 for 128. The iPhone 12 is $699 for 64 and $749 for 128. So there is $200 separating them. Okay, so let's get into the first things, the colors. So as you can see, that they both have similar colors, I guess, but the 12 has much more vibrant, nicer colors. From this blue to this product red to this purple. As you can see, there's more like pale colors on this phone. Like the purple's very pale. It's not very nice, as you can see. There's 6 color options for both of the phones, but yeah, I mean the 12 has nicer colors. Next, let's talk about the displays, or actually first. So, the iPhone 11 has a Liquid Retina HD display, 6.1 inches, and the resolution is quite lower. It is 326 ppi. The iPhone 12 has a 6.1 inch Super Retina XDR display that is 460 ppi. So it is a much sharper display, and yeah, it is quite nicer, and it looks better. And because of this new design for the 12s and 13s, this flat design makes it have way less bezel and look much better. So as you can see in this photo, this display does look sharper than that one. Next, let's talk about the cellular. So obviously, you guys know the iPhone 12 has 5G. You also have millimeter wave, so this can get as I've seen it. I have this on the plan I have, the new cell plan I have, and it is crazy fast. I got like 935 megabytes per second at full full 5G ultra wideband. And then whereas an iPhone 11 would get like, who knows, like 30 megabytes per second on full 5G or 4G standard, not 5G, 4G standard, like full 4G. Because, yeah, 4G is much slower, so. Okay, next let's talk about the cameras. So they both have dual cameras, but the iPhone 12 has noticeably better night mode photography and better picture quality. And plus, you don't have to hold it still for as long. Like, you kind of have to stabilize a little on the iPhone 11, and when it's finished, like if you're taking a photo while you're moving, it's not going to turn out very well. And the night mode shots are very blurry, and they don't look as good, everyone. So, just so you know, the camera is going to be way better on the iPhone 12. Plus, you have Dolby Vision HDR recording at 4K 30. So, yeah, the Dolby Vision HDR is basically where the photos get like brighter. You need to know how to edit though. You'll have some serious issues in video production, so you'll have to know how to edit HDR video. Next, we're going to talk about performance. So we have an Apple A13 Bionic chip on the iPhone 11 and an iPhone 12 with an Apple A14 Bionic chip. So they both have 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is good, so no worries there. But to be honest, the iPhone 12, the A14 Bionic chip was the first 5 nanometer chip, and now we have the A15, which is the same thing. But to be honest, it may not seem like there's a big difference. Like you think, hey, there's only one generation newer. So basically, how Apple does this is they make one chip, slight improvement, then they make a big leap, then they make a small improvement, then they make a big leap, basically. So for example, the A11 chip to the A12 was a big leap. So the A12 Bionic chip was the first 7 nanometer chip. Then the A13 was a minor upgrade, for example, because it was still a 7 nanometer chip. Then we had a 5 nanometer chip with the A14 Bionic chip. That was a massive upgrade. Then we have the A15, which is still 5 nanometer chip. So it kind of goes like, it basically is like, one is a slight improvement, one then there's a big leap. There's a small improvement. So it's basically, in this case, it's a big leap in performance. So we also have a 16 core neural engine. So that'll be good for, heavier tasks and stuff like that. So yeah, there is a performance increase. I'll tell you that much. I've noticed it too. Next, let's talk about battery life. So even though we have a bigger battery and a thicker phone with the iPhone 11, I've noticed the 12 has great battery life. In some cases, it actually beats out the iPhone 11 because the iPhone 11 is an older generation phone, and even if you buy it like at Apple, it's not gonna be perfect, if you know what I mean. Like, it's gonna have some battery, it's gonna be not very good, everyone. So next and last, let's talk about the water resistance. So, well, actually not last because we have to. So there's 6 meters on the 12, and then 2 meters on the iPhone 11. So basically, this means that you could take the iPhone 12 not, I wouldn't take it swimming if I were you, but like it can go in the water a little bit for 6 meters. The iPhone 11 can only do 2 meters, so that's not as good. And then we have MagSafe chargers on the iPhone 12, which the iPhone 11 it can do it, but it's not like it doesn't stick and it's not made for them, so it can only get 7 watts basically. Um, Now we're gonna go into more of the okay. So first, let's talk about the display. So as you can see, we have um 326 ppi on the iPhone 11 and 460 ppi on the 12. So as you can see, they're a much sharper display. And then we have higher contrast ratio, cool, and the same brightness. But if you do HDR video, you can get to 1200 nits on the 12 versus you only have 625 nits on the iPhone 11. So that's a little disappointing if you're outdoors. You can't get as bright, if you know what I mean. Next, let's talk about. So we have an A14 Bionic chip. As said, 16-core neural engine. Now let's talk about the cameras. So we have the same cameras, but we have a wider. We have an f.6 aperture on the 12, and a f1.8 aperture on the iPhone 11. Next, we have same kind of like we have night mode, but again, the 12 can do night mode on all the cameras, deep fusion, optical image stabilization, and then we have still this 2x optical zoom and then digital zoom up to 5x. Let's see, we have Smart HDR3 for photos. So it says next generation on the iPhone 11, but it is better Smart HDR, aka better Smart HDR than the iPhone 11. So you have HDR video and stuff. And then let's talk about video recording. So we have the same stuff, up here, like the 4K video at 20, the 30 frames per second, 60 things, and then 1080p, cool. But then we have Dolby Vision with the iPhone 12, and then that's really good because you can get brighter photos. So the HDR lights it up. Basically, you just have to know how to edit and stuff if you do take any videos. Next, we have night mode time lapse. That's a big thing because if you want to get time lapses at night, you can't do it on the iPhone 11. It'll look super dark and it won't look very good. I've tried taking one on my previous iPhone 11 Pro, and that it did not look good at all. Yes. So yeah, it did not look good. I'll tell you that much. We have the same thing with the front camera. You can do HDR video, night mode, and deep fusion. You can also do that on the front camera too. Night mode, you can do night mode selfies basically, and that's good if you're outside and you don't want to use the flash because it does look better and it is brighter than the flash. So they work on all the carriers. Sorry, I had to cut out Verizon, but yeah, it works on all the carriers. Cool, GSM. They have roaming, and then you have the 5G and millimeter wave on the 12. You have only gigabit class LTE on the iPhone 11. So they all have Wi-Fi 6 and U1 chip, Bluetooth 5.0. You know, all this kind of stuff, Wi-Fi calling. But yeah, the point is you do get the better LTE with the iPhone 12. So it is worth it in that way. And let's talk about Face ID too. So you can do Face ID. It's basically the same speed. There's no really improvement, but a cool thing is you can do it now because of the iOS updates. Now you can use Face ID with a mask on with the iPhone 12. It does not work with the KN95 mask. I've tried using it. It does not work like that. But you can use it on a surgical mask. So if you are forced to wear a mask and you can't take it off, it's a good way you could just access your phone. Like if you're in school and you really can't take it off, then that's a good thing to do because, video calling. Oh yeah, you can get, well, obviously 5G. You can kind of same thing, I guess. Audio calling, cool. Audio playback. I'm just looking at. Yeah. Aha. Here's a difference that I never knew about. So the iPhone 11, you can get 10 hours of video playback. There's an extra hour on the iPhone 12, even though it's like streaming video playback is slightly better on the iPhone 12, as you can see. Yeah. than the iPhone 11. Video playback, like YouTube, I guess would be the same, but I have noticed again, like video playback is better on the iPhone 12, like battery life wise. Sensors, cool, don't really care. There's still, yeah, pretty much the same. And that pretty much covers it up, everyone. So if you liked this video, um, please comment down below. And I would say the iPhone 12 is probably a better value, to be honest, because there are some big differences. Obviously, some people may not notice 5G, but it really does make a big difference, especially if you get ultra wideband. You'll notice a dramatic improvement in speed results and, doing stuff out and about. Like if you just use Wi-Fi, or if you don't have LTE or something and you're just on the Wi-Fi network, you won't notice a big difference. But when you're out and about and you have 5G ultra wideband, you notice a big difference. And then cameras are like way better. Obviously, I'll probably do a bunch of comparisons between. I'll try to do some photo comparisons, but as you can see, the 12 has way better photos. So if I ever do that, I will try to do that. But yeah. Obviously, it's a little more expensive, the 12, but I sort of feel like it's worth the extra $200. Plus, if you buy it in the used market, you can get it for like $500, basically around the same price as an iPhone 11 if you buy it refurbished. But I probably wouldn't do that because the iPhone 12s have had issues with batteries. So the iPhone 12 Pro, I'll make a video on that probably today or maybe later. They have battery issues, so basically their batteries degrade over time. But an iPhone 12 Pro specifically has terrible battery degradation. I've noticed it like a bunch of places. People have gone from like 100% maximum capacity to 87% maximum capacity in like a year. The iPhone 12 hasn't experienced it that much, but the 12 mini and the 12 Pro have experienced it a lot. I've noticed that. So, yeah, the 12 Pro Max I would say is probably fine, but anyway, like I said, I would still buy the iPhone 12. Like I said, you could find it for like 500 in the used market, so that's a pretty good place to buy it. And again, the iPhone 12, I have obviously would probably say this, it is a really good phone still. I mean, this phone is excellent. I think it is such a great phone. I think it's, in some ways, it's not worth getting the Pro if you just, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, anyway, that sums up this video, and subscribe.